Hi, second grade. Welcome back to another Wit and Wisdom lesson with Mrs. Jones. Today we're going to do Module 4, Lesson 21. Let's go ahead and read our I can sentence. I can use text features to help me find out information more quickly. So the first thing that we're going to look at is a table of contents, and this is from the book The Digestive System by Christine Taylor Butler. So the first thing that I see is that there are 2 pages. There's numbers by each of these telling me which chapters they are, and it also tells me that the page that the title starts. So what does a table of contents do is it tells me really what I'm going to be reading about and like the main topics so that I can have a sense of what I'm going to be reading about. Where do we find a table of contents? We always find it in the beginning. There are actually table of contents in some nonfiction books as well. Like I know in Junie B. Jones, it tells each of the chapters there. So it tells kind of like my big picture, what my book is going to be about. But this is a feature of nonfiction text. And how do you use it? Well, the great thing about nonfiction books is you can just go to whichever chapter interests you first. So if I said, oh, I'm not really interested in it's a gas, your food processor, digestive disorders, but I want to know more about call the experts and how do doctors examine your digestive system. I know I can jump straight to page 35 and give me all of the information that I need. So we have a question here about using the table of contents. It says page 31 is part of which chapter? So I notice right away that it doesn't give me the pages that it goes until. So I know chapter 1 starts on page 7 and it actually ends at page 12 because chapter 2 starts at page 13 and it goes all the way until page 26. There's a piece in here that talks about Food's Long Journey. I know it doesn't have a number next to it, so it's not actually a chapter. So when I start looking, chapter 3 starts at page 27 and ends at page 34 because chapter 4 starts on page 35. So when I think about this, what page 31 is a part of which chapter? Well, I know it's not chapter 1 because it goes page 7 to page 12. That doesn't work. Chapter 3 starts at page 27 and goes until 34. The correct answer is B. So our next nonfiction text feature that we're going to be looking at is an index. An index tells you all the pages about a certain topic. So a lot of times in nonfiction text, the ideas and different topics keep coming up. So it tells you which pages you can find each of the things. So it's always one of the last pages. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Where can you find it? It's always one of the last pages inside of a nonfiction book because it, as you can see, it has all these different pages here, 35, 33 to 37, 31, 31, 10, 11. It has to talk about the whole book. So it is always, always, always at the end. And how do I use it? Whenever I want to find something, it always goes in ABC order. So acid, antacid, antibiotics, appendix. Even though they all start with A, they are in ABC order by the number of letters that they have. So where should I look if I needed to find out more about acids? Well, acids is my word that I'm looking for. It starts with an A, so this is going to be really easy peasy for us. We're going to go straight to this first part where all the A's are. And luckily for me, acid is actually my first thing that it talks about. So I know I can look at page 16, 24, 31, and 36. Those are all the pages that talk about acids. So if I look on page 16 and I say, well, that's not what I was looking for, I can come back to the index and I can look at page 24 and see if that's what I need. And our last nonfiction text feature is using a glossary. So a glossary is a list of important words that are bolded throughout the story. These dark words you see that they're darker than everything else, these are bolded all throughout the story, and they might have things like important words or glossary. They all mean the same thing. You always find the glossary again at the end. It's actually usually right before the index to let you know about what all of these words mean. So I kind of jumped ahead of myself. How do you use it? It's really just kind of a place for you to find all the important words and what they mean. So let's explore using a glossary. So what is the definition of gastric? Just like an index, it does go in ABC order. And so when I look at gastric, it starts with G and it says to do with the stomach. So if I was reading and they said gastric juices, ooh, I don't know what gastric means. Oh, to do with the stomach. So stomach juices. That's it for our lesson today, second grade. I am so proud of you. We see you. Keep up doing the great work that you are doing with all of this online learning. Your next step is to go into your Google form and practice using the text features we just talked about. I can't wait to see you again. Bye.